My boy Jinbei finally joined.
And for my $5 patron shoutouts for the month of March, Steven Rendezzo, John Paul Meyer, Hunter Bursch, Tack, Average Stranger, Troy Storm, Dylan Folker, Sam Welch, Ethan Chan, Emmanuel Hawley, Kimberly Calderon, Sotaz, Brian Shepard, Jose Hernandez, W.R. Pearson, Isaac Herrera, Charles Nelson, Justin Weber, Scott Bloomfeld, Matt Kate, Zevi Zeff, David Balestros, Jessica Spahn, Ryan Wallier, and Charles Dooley. Thank you all for your added support. All of you are super, just saying. And before I start this video off, for those who didn't see it, I completely re-edited my Uncle Ira Would That Work Out video that got taken down recently, so be sure to head over to there and give that video some love as well. Thank you.
Yo, Disney Dude, that's your friendly neighbor Jaxblade is back with another episode of Would That Work Out, the series where I use my knowledge of personal training and exercise science to analyze whether a fictional character's routine would actually work if attempted in real life. In today's episode, we're covering one of my favorite badasses who trains his ass off, the green-haired, three-sword style, one of the most badass pirates there is, Roronoa Zoro, from one of the longest running anime there is currently going on, One Piece. I don't give a damn what anyone says, that theme is still raw as hell.
And Zoro is one of the most badass training motherfuckers you could bless a gym-going anime junkie with for motivation. Matter of fact, I love the dude so much I made my own Tough Like the Tunes training program for him back in the day. So if y'all want to try a toned-down version of Zoro's program but still make solid strength results, here's a link to that so you can try it after this. Now, one of the things I absolutely respect about Zoro is the fact that in One Piece's world, he's just a regular human, albeit one that lifts God knows how much weight, mastered a power that lets him knock out a room full of people by mean mugging, and regularly F's up superpowered pirates and monsters on a day-to-day basis.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Ain't ready for this.
And with all these incredible feats, it's insane to think that this man does not have a devil fruit ability of his own. And now for those of you who don't know what a devil fruit ability is, I'll briefly explain it. In the One Piece world, there are these mystical fruits that when consumed, give the person who consumed them supernatural abilities. For example, Luffy ate one and is made of rubber now, and can do all these badass stretch attacks that honestly make you look at Mr. Fantastic and Elastigirl and say, y'all ain't using your powers right. Well, except you, Helen. You know how to use that power extra nice, don't you, girl? So fine. But some do insane crap like turning into lightning, fire, smoke, mochi.
Okay, I know that power sounds really stupid, but it's actually really badass when Katakuri uses it.
And most of them have the potential to make you really OP for the sacrifice of never being able to swim in the ocean again, as devil fruit users can't use their powers in the ocean water because it's their kryptonite basically.
But not being able to swim is just a small sacrifice for such awesome, insane power. I mean, literally think about it. Anyone would kill for a devil fruit ability in real life. I mean, what are you gonna use swimming for? Exactly, alright? It's stupid. You don't really want it, alright? It's just, I personally want to stretchy myself. Well, stretchier.
But there are humans in One Piece's world who refuse the instant gratification of the devil fruit, and through hard, dedicated work and some of the most grueling training you could ever imagine, they were not only able to be on par with some of the devil fruit users, but actually be able to lay some of these motherfuckers out.
You got knocked the fuck out!
And Roronoa Zoro is without a doubt one of the hardest working / training characters in the entire series, who has earned the monster strength he has developed from childhood to adulthood. Now, excluding intelligence, think of Zoro like the super Batman of One Piece. Batman is one of the most well-respected heroes in the Justice League, who is just a mortal man who trained and studied for years to become the physical specimen he is today. Now, while Batman is definitely one of the strongest humans in the universe, he is still just that, only human. You can be a strong, talented, skilled human who worked his ass off, but there comes a certain point when fighting metahumans and demigods that the whole "I'm Batman" thing can't save you. Zoro, on the other hand,
And we're 100% sure he did not eat a devil fruit. Damn, I would just love the strength training mechanics of One Piece's world. I mean, look what they did to freaking Kobe.
But let's go back to the past of when Zoro was just a child training at a dojo to surpass his rival / friend Kuina to become the #1 swordsman in the world. Now, Zoro as a kid wasn't anything special at first glance. Just an arrogant brat who went from town to town challenging dojos. In his own words, he was unbeaten. But that clearly changed when Kuina humbled him properly. After losing to Kuina, Zoro began an obsessive training regimen to surpass her, and I gotta tell y'all, boy was strong. As a child, Zoro practiced his sword strikes and techniques for hours on end. He was able to run faster than his other classmates while holding a fellow student on his shoulders, beat grown men in sparring who had been training for years, and oh yeah, all of that accompanied by the fact he was moving giant boulders like he was a hungry ass rock biter. Now this part right here already establishes that Zoro is superhuman because he is a child lofting about giant rocks. Alright, Zoro as a child is squatting for reps a giant ass boulder. So let's just knock this out the get-go. Let me explain something that I mentioned previously in my Would That Work Out for Samurai Jack video, link above and below and whatever. A small boulder could possibly weigh around 1,200 pounds. First off, if you're not crushed instantly, your back is going to be wrecked. Not to mention having so many sprains, strains, and imbalance injuries just by trying to do that without any progression. I mean, honestly, I have no issues with lifting boulders for strongman training. As I've mentioned in several other Would That Work Out videos, strongman training when done right is incredibly effective. But grabbing an actual rock that size from nature with no previous records showing you could even move a smaller version of it is going to F you up big time. Unless you're a little demigod in disguise.
Now, subtracting the obvious metahuman gene that Zoro obviously has, what we could talk about now is the importance of neck training, since Zoro constantly holds his fourth sword in his mouth. And I know some of you may be thinking, oh, you might have misspoke there, but nah, Robin holds his first one. Look, I had to get one of them out there, alright? I had to get one.
Now looking at the way Zoro trains his neck, we can actually analyze how effective or detrimental this would be to you in real life. He has to have an incredibly strong one to not only hold a katana in his mouth, which usually weigh about 2 to 4 pounds, but also to actively fight super strong opponents on a day-to-day basis. And he does this by holding down or biting on ropes, holding boulders, stone dumbbells, or as an adult, holding giant iron dumbbells and barbells in his mouth.
Nope. Still not a devil fruit user.
So let's look at the anatomy of the neck and work our way up to the jaw. And I absolutely have to say this first and foremost, no excuses. It is abundantly important to stay safe and slowly build yourself up with neck training. Literally one wrong move and Grimm's gonna drag your ass with him to hell, or your name is gonna be as relevant as the ship name of Vegeta and Bulma. Alright? You don't want that to happen, and I don't want that to happen to you. Stay fucking safe.
The first neck muscle we have to talk about is actually the Sternocleidomastoid, and yes, it sounds like a fancy name, but it literally goes from your sternum to your clavicle. This would be better if I had a marker, but I'm going to try and show you. Up your neck, up the side of your neck, all the way to the back of your skull. And this helps with forward flexion. So the way to train these would be to effectively train them is to use like a light plate and then just do forward flexion like this, like with a light plate, or you'd be doing a cable, very light. Remember, this is something you want to do very safely, and then just doing that, that's going to help you build this up. You can also work them from the side in addition with your scalene muscles, and the scalene muscles are in the upper part of your spine's vertebrae, and they go all the way down to your ribs, and you can work them from side to side with like a cable or something like that, if that's what you're trying to do. Sorry, I don't have a band or anything near me, but it's better if I'll put things up so you can follow along. Then of course, let's talk about the traps, which I don't understand why people always ask if they're gay. They're just a part of your neck. But the trapezius muscles are very well known for giving that cobra vibe in the neck. And as a matter of fact, I'll just demonstrate on this Goku figure right here. And because this Goku figure is actually really well developed muscularly. They did a great job, If Labs. And notice the cobra thing. And this goes from the back of your neck all the way to your scapula right here, and then to the mid back. And these focus on extension. That's the best way to train them and getting them stronger. So like easy ways to get them stronger would be, the common way: shrugs, deadlifts, bent over, barbell rows, light neck extensions, stuff like that. That's going to help them really grow and become stronger. But now let's talk about the jaw muscles, which are actually quite a neglected muscle that not many people train at all. And I know a lot of people are interested in having strong jaws, but Some parts, I will admit, it is genetic. Like, there are some people who just have perfectly square jaws. Like, that is just perfect genetics right there. But just because you don't have a perfectly square jaw or perfectly looking aesthetic jaw, then that doesn't mean you can't, like, develop one of your own. All right, like, you can develop it definitely by training. Like, there are certain training methods to get it. But if you try like Zoro, we've already established you need to be superhuman, because you would completely just F up your teeth if you were trying the way he was doing it. But ways to increase it, there's actually a method I learned back in MMA classes, a thing called howling at the moon, where you like go like that, like you're like that, because what it's doing is it's working the sternocleidomastoid and the jaw muscles. But the big thing, like the main thing you're trying to really focus on, is building the masseter muscle. That's this side muscle right here. That's going to give you that nice strong square look, that superhero look that most people are after. So, and there are various ways to train that. Actually, I saw an ad for this thing, I forget what it was called, I'll link it down below, whatever, something like that when I see it, but for increasing your jaw muscles, because you can increase your jaw muscles by biting, by doing resistance stuff like putting your hand down and just opening. Because the only reason I know so much about this is because in MMA class they made us do these exercises so we could like take a punch and like be able to just look back at people. But yeah, there are various ways to increase your jaw muscles, and it's important to train them, and be sure to train every part of your body like Bruce Lee says. Hey, look at Littlefoot going from long neck to strong neck, extreme dinosaur over here.
But now let's move on to the strength training Zoro did for all those years. Zoro is an avid weightlifter. In his spare time, we always see him training and practicing with these ridiculous sized weights. You know what, as a matter of fact, Vegeta really should have introduced him to gravity training that one time they met. I mean, it'd be a hell of a lot more convenient than carrying those everywhere. But the thing about Zoro is, even though we see him lifting these insane pounds for reps, he doesn't look as massive as someone you would think does that. But why? Though to be fair, due to the art style, his physique does change drastically back and forth.
I know what I just said, but shut the fuck up and let me finish.
The art style changed. The point is, for the most part, Zoro just has a lean muscular build. Nothing mass-wise like, say, Goku or Kenshiro. But is it possible to be that strong and not look it? I've actually mentioned this before in my Which Superhero Body is Better For You in Real Life video, where I discuss the benefits of being lean, small, and strong versus the benefits of being big and swole, which you can actually watch right after this video, but I'll summarize some of it here. Like I mentioned before, there are different rep ranges to choose for different training regimens, but again, these are not set in stone for different goals. For example, 1 to 5 reps usually helps folks build strength, 5 to 8 reps helps folks build strength and muscle, 8 to 12 reps primarily helps with muscle growth, and 15 reps and on is some muscle but a ton of muscular endurance. And I go further in detail in that in the Making Your Workouts More Effective video, which you can watch after this as well. But you can be a very strong individual and not necessarily look it from your build. So examples would be people like Bruce Lee, Peter Parker, Zoro himself, and Saitama, whose muscles are all well incredibly defined and developed and complement their immense strength. But if they're just walking around town in baggy clothes that don't highlight their physique, they just look like a typical average Joe. But this can actually be an advantage, as people will underestimate you and you can use your hidden athleticism to benefit you. Effectively, it's like the real world way of hiding your power level.
Like I said before, look at me. I'm not the biggest guy around, and I don't try to pretend to be. And due to a bunch of ego-based injuries that I caused myself, if you want to learn about it, just watch this video. I basically have a huge ego. I do a bunch of exercises that I push myself past my limits and cause a bunch of stupid injuries that hindered me from putting on size, but I never let myself become weak. I know, I would not say I'm weak in the slightest, and that's not me like ego boasting or anything like that, but like I know that from my accomplishments. Like I can like hold a human flag, I can do handstand push-ups without a wall, I can freaking jump ridiculously high, I've mentioned it before, diesel ass legs, and of course, you know, I'm just very fit and athletic and very fast and do all this stuff to make myself strong so that I'm not a weak person, so I can protect myself if I need to, or protect people I care about.
As I said, you don't have to be overly muscular to be considered incredibly strong. Remember, training for muscle size and muscle strength are two greatly different things. A bigger muscle isn't necessarily a stronger muscle. Just look at this professional bodybuilder arm wrestling a professional arm wrestler. Okay, it's funny, like the bodybuilder looks so impressive compared to the freaking arm wrestler, but the man who looks average is outclassing him due to his style of training. And it's clear that's what Zoro was able to accomplish in his own training. Like when he crushed Miss Monday's head in one hand when she had a ton of muscle on him. Same concept. But besides the weight training and sword work he had done for a decade plus, for 2 years, Zoro also battled giant baboons who learned how to fight by watching the super strong pirates of One Piece, which honestly would be the equivalent of fighting 20 Mighty Joe Youngs / mini King Kongs, all armed with Cloud's Buster blades.
Are we sure he didn't get, like, at least shavings of devil fruit on, like, an ice cream sundae at one point?
Anyways, would Roronoa Zoro's training from One Piece actually work if attempted in real life?
Nah.
On a toned down scale, yes, with proper rest and diet, you can most definitely make some results following something similar to it, and you can become really strong doing it. Hell, that probably explains why Zoro naps so much from his insane regime. Additionally, if you want to try it, there's my Tough Like the Tunes you can just do at the gym or at home for like a toned down version of that. But to do actually Zoro's real training, you need to be already some form of metahuman to be able to casually live and fight the creatures he does. Maybe one day when we further evolve, but if the average person tried this right now, they'd end up in Snap City for a long time. Well, that has been my video for today. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you have any more video topics you'd like to see from me, leave them in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy the video and would like to help me create more videos like this, then why not step past my Patreon, where you can see a ton of great helpful rewards for the price of a vending machine snack as gratitude for helping me out. And I'm incredibly appreciative of all of you for helping me keep these up. Also, be sure to hit that bell icon by the subscriber button, because that will let you know the moment I upload, and I definitely have surprises coming down the line.
Well, dudes and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you learned something. Be sure to leave a comment down below and hit that like button and tell me what you thought of the video. Did you love it? Did you have it? Whatever, just let me know. And thank you all for watching all the way to the end. And I'm sorry this video took so long to make from the other one. I was at a convention like earlier this month, and then I came back, and then I had to take care of a bunch of like work related stuff, and then I had to go. I'm going to another convention. I'm going to MomoCon next week, so that's gonna be fun. And yeah, I've just been working on a bunch of stuff for Project Deku. By the way, for people who are interested, I did a whole All My Aim to Pass the American Dream Plan version in real life with like workouts, meal plans, stuff to follow. All you gotta do is click that link down below if you want your own copy to become the best you possible. It's a 10-month program, help you become the best you possible. And yeah, like it was fun. It's been helping a lot of people out so far. I've been getting lots of like great things so far from it, so definitely check it out for those interested. And thank you for watching all the way to the end. Definitely I'm gonna try and upload more consistently before. Sorry this took so long to put out, but I love doing these. I love doing research, and yes, don't worry, I do have another Tough Like the Tunes coming because I have to. All right, that's like my thing. All right, like I'm a baby. I've got it coming. All right. Anyways, keep calm. Booyah on. Don't forget Momentai. For those of you at MomoCon, come say hi. I guess I have to stand out more somehow, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you learn something again. Just have fun. MomoCon. Zoro, you're a badass. Peace. Buy Project Deku or Athletic Hero Build today. Bye.